adopted me.
All right, Dave. Where your pipe at? There we go. Okay, y'all, that's my friend Dave right here. This is my, see, check out this chess. You're not strategic in life unless you know how to play chess. And this is the spread. This is Christmas. Merry Christmas. This is the food. My plate is empty. And where's my wine? My wine bottle. Not my wine bottle, my wine glass. There you go right here. And we over here having a good conversation. And let me see. I'm going to switch this around. How do I do this? Let me switch it around. Can I switch it around? I should be able to, but it's not letting me switch it around. Okay, it's not letting me. Anyway, I mean, I gotta upgrade and update. Know what that means? Gotta spend more money. Spend more money on electronics. Let's toast. We saluting. Now, what we saluting to?
Well, we were having a conversation as to the differences, why the Republicans and Democrats are constantly fighting over trivial garbage.
Yeah, and what I said, family, is the Republicans and Democrats are acting like gangs in the White House. Remember back in the days we had gangster disciples and vice lords. That was in the Midwest. In the West Coast, it was Bloods and Crips, you know, the orange and the, or no orange, red and blue. We're orange and green, fam. But no, it was red and blue.
Oh, in Oregon, it's still the orange and green.
In Oregon, if you an Oregon cat who's in the gang, you in orange and green out there. But the rest of the urban world is red and blue. But anyway, we said this is what the Democrats and the Republicans, mainly Republicans and the Democrats, is in basically acting like we're in a gang, or the country is in a gang fight. Let me make sure we on. Okay. So let's go ahead and give us your analysis, Stay.
The real problem is Republicans and Democrats have different philosophies that are so basic and so fundamental to what they believe that they don't even realize why they're arguing. The Democrats believe that we, the people, should work together through the government and use the government to achieve things.
I agree with that. That is correct.
The Republicans, on the other hand, believe we, the people, should work through private charities, through churches, through our families, and things like that to achieve those same ends, not through a bunch of unelected bureaucrats that we have no control over. We should ensure our food is safe, not through corporate-sponsored lobbyists in the FDA who write all sorts of arcane rules, but through our court systems and through our neighbors and things like that. Democrats, on the other hand, embrace the idea of the New Deal and Marxism that says the government knows best, the government is father, the government is mother, be good and do what the government tells you to do.
But don't you think that's more what how the Republicans are?
No.
But you said earlier that Democrats believe is we the people.
That's what they think. That's what they believe.
What was
That's
your analysis
not
of the Democrat again? Your analysis?
The Democrats believe in central planning. They believe that by planning everything properly through the government, they can achieve utopia. They can achieve a better society.
Planning is a preparation for success, though. Planning is a good idea.
But that's one of those things that sometimes you're right, sometimes you're not. Because there's such thing as over-planning.
Okay. So how do Republicans achieve their goals if they don't plan?
No, they plan. They just plan differently. See, the central planners believe that society can be planned into perfection. That you can predict the future. That you can make the future better by following the right policies. That's what the left believes. The right believes that the future cannot be predicted. That human free will is so chaotic that you just have to let people be free. And by allowing them to be free, they will find their own way to a better society.
Who believes that?
The Republicans.
Letting people be free? What people?
Everybody.
So they don't want to help people? Is that what you're saying? They kind of like they want to force people not to be on, not to take charity.
Not charity. They have no problem with charity.
But they got a problem with...
They got a problem with entitlements.
Okay, is welfare an entitlement?
That's an argument that we're having.
Why would welfare be considered an entitlement?
Well,
isn't Social Security an entitlement?
And again, it wasn't designed as an entitlement.
But we need Social Security when you put in your work.
Do you?
I know I do. I ain't trying to work like this, like a slave, a bone, or not a slave, but my fingers to the bone, and I don't get nothing as I get
here's
older.
A question for you. The government takes 7% of your paycheck, almost 8% of your paycheck, and puts it in Social Security. Okay. Now, in return for the government doing that, it takes the same amount of money from your employer, 8%. You and the employer each pay half of the Social Security tax. Okay. Now, what the government does with that money is it puts it into a trust fund that earns 1% interest. Not even 1% interest.
Okay.
Basically, if you took that same 7% out of your own paycheck and put it in
I need a refill.
And you put it in a regular IRA, a regular bank account that you can't touch until you retire, you will have many times more than you would if you gave that same money to the government and withdrew it.
Yeah, but
but
we're not doing that.
But why aren't you? Because the government's doing it for you. The government has taken away your freedom to invest.
But you don't miss 7%. But what about? Let's talk about why you said how the Republicans and the Democrats are not getting along when this is in the last. I think in the last 10 years, we've been noticing a serious division, a very serious division in our country with the parties.
Traditionally, political parties were regional. Okay?
What's regional?
That means in the South, if you were running for up until the 1960s, from, the 1800s until the 1960s.
Okay.
If you wanted to be elected in the South, Georgia, Mississippi, Texas, you ran as a Democrat. It was impossible. A Republican could not win in those states.
Well, not anymore. It's our Republicans down there now.
But likewise, in New England, if you ran as a Democrat, you had a kind of sort of chance. If you ran in Illinois or Missouri or Wisconsin, you had zero chance in hell of getting elected if you were a Democrat. It used to be the parties were regional. Okay?
Wow. How long ago was that? Like 50 years or how many?
About World War II.
World War II.
About 40, 50 years ago. But over the last 40 years, parties have changed from being regional to being ideology.
Oh.
See, there used to be a lot of conservatives who were in the Democratic Party, and there were a lot of liberals who were in the Republican Party. But over time, all the liberals moved into the Democratic Party, and all the conservatives moved into the Republican Party.
No, that wasn't a party. It wasn't a conservative party, though.
It wasn't originally. I mean, Abraham Lincoln was a liberal.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really stinking liberal.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm from the land of Lincoln. I'm from Illini, land of Lincoln.
My condolences. If you're not from Oregon, my condolences.
He think Oregon is better than Illinois, but I don't know.
Hey, we Oregonians moved out of
America.
Hey, we Oregonians left Illinois for a reason.
Why?
Ask any Oregonian.
They don't
Chicago.
know.
Chicago. Actually, yes. Most of the people who originally
I
settled
gotta
Oregon.
put this somewhere. I'm gonna give me another drink. I gotta set this up where it can tape and film where it's got both of us on the couch or something. How we gonna do this?
Here, let me get the bottle of wine.
Okay.
Hang on with that.
All right. Well, shoot, you still in the whole show. Shoot, I might have to do a part 2. Okay.